Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Panzer General, the 1994 SSI Wargaming Classic. This is part of our retro wargaming series, which is really only a series of one so far. We're, I think, getting close to the end of this particular playthrough where we're playing as the Germans in the 1939 Grand Campaign. Today's video... This is just sort of a little demo loading screen you're about to see here, but today's video is actually going to be looking at the, why is it not? Oh, God. Today's video is going to be looking at the Battle for Moscow, 1943. We've just managed to take England in Sea Lion, and now we're going to be trying to knock out the Russians from the war. Sea Lion was relatively easy, it felt like. Limited front you had to pass. A lot of enemy air and naval assets, but less that was sort of outclassing us in terms of ground combat. This is going to be a different story, and frankly, we tried to live stream this last night. It did not go well. I don't think my Corps is in good enough shape to win this. I don't even think my Corps was in good enough shape to win this going into Sea Lion. 43 is a very difficult scenario playing as the Germans, and we are going to play it. And I'm not saying we're not going to try and beat it, but I would not anticipate beating it. The problem is, and this is what we saw in the live stream within like 10 turns, was like, not only can you not win it, but you can lose the game in this scenario. Because if you do not take Moscow, obviously you lose the scenario. Even if you take Moscow in a minor victory, you can kind of lose it in that you won't knock Russia out of the war. But if you take too many casualties... As we kind of saw with Sea Lion, taking too many casualties at Sea Lion can kneecap your ability to win Moscow. Taking too many casualties at Moscow can make sure that you can't win the following scenario, which I think is Bagration, if you don't win decisively at Moscow. And if you lose at Bagration decisively, then you can't win in Berlin, and then you've lost the game. So it felt like where we were at in the live stream was that we were going to lose the game based off the result. So... I didn't want to like just post that and be like, it's over. I wanted to try again, but I'm going to try more conservatively. So the goal is to still win, but we are going to go at it in a more defensive nature, which I think probably means we won't win, but hopefully we will preserve enough of our force that we can maybe come out of this battle even stronger and perhaps have a chance of winning a minor German victory, which means not knocking the USSR out of the war, not getting a chance to invade the US, but at least winning at the Battle of Berlin, which is sort of the ultimate, direction you go down the other way. In which case, presumably we'd keep our Western European conquest because we already knocked France and the UK out of the war. There will be no D-Day, but maybe, some sort of negotiated peace with the Soviets. I think that's where we're going to end up if we can manage to, hold our force together. But we'll see. We will still try and win. We're just not going to go about it in a way that will get our force destroyed. At least that's my hope. We will see. The Russians have a lot of air power in this scenario. And so I'll probably end up building a fair group of air defense units because I don't think I'm going to be able to build up enough air units to destroy them. We'll see. We'll see.
Congratulations on your truly impressive victory in England. Now that England is out of the war, it is time for you to deal with the Soviets. Our armies have pushed to the gates of Moscow, and it is time for you to take the Kremlin and force the Soviets to surrender. It is essential that you take your objectives by December 31st, at the latest. To ensure that winter weather does not give the Soviets an opportunity to counterattack before we have consolidated our gains, you the objective much earlier.
Okay, so this scenario is a little bit different. We did play the Battle of Moscow in 1941, which I think is an easier scenario. And this scenario is a little bit different than that one because the map is different. So if we zoom out to the strategic map here and we take a look at this thing, first off, there's a large force of non-core forces in the south. I think we'll still push fairly aggressively with them to try and get to Krakow if we can. and then perhaps support a drive north toward Kirov in the south. Once we take those objectives, the primary objective of those southern forces has to be to push east to take Kaluga at the southern edge of the second defensive line, and then Tula, the furthest eastmost objective there. The map continues further east, but there's nowhere else you need to push in the south. If you have time, those troops could swing north to drive toward Moscow, but if you have the time to make it that far, you're probably in some serious trouble. And even if you win a minor victory there, you're probably not going to win a decisive one. So those are sort of the AI forces, or not the AI, but the non-core force objectives there in the south is Krachev, Kirov, and then is it Kaluga and Tula down there. The core forces that we have at our disposal will probably try and drive. There's sort of two rivers here in the north that break up our force to the north of the river there, but you probably want to make a drive with your sort of central forces, perhaps toward Kirov, but it's behind a swamp area. More realistically, it's probably sticking to these roads driving east and then making a play for Vizima and Rizhev, and then driving east for the second defensive line of Mozisk and Obensk, and then from there, the second defensive line pushing in toward Moscow. It's a large amount of territory to push through. To do it in 15 or 16 turns, which I think is what you need for a major victory, seems borderline impossible, but that's sort of where you're at. I don't think we need to upgrade our infantry here. I think we really just need to build sort of a bulk of forces here in the center here and try and push from there. So we will see, but I don't think we need to build a large force anywhere except for sort of the center here and try to push and try to keep those troops as consolidated as possible. So we will, I think we'll just, we'll build up sort of these troops here. I'm just going to place these kind of wherever. I'm not going to bother upgrading my armor to like Panther Ds or anything like that. It would be nice, but I also don't think I have the prestige to spare to do that. And so we will focus on sort of this, I don't know, this general front here. I've got a decent number of tanks. My real issue is just I don't have enough air units to really hold the Soviet hordes of air units, which are going to appear, in check. Put this anti-tank unit here at Smolensk. Put one artillery piece there. We'll put the rest in the south here. Do I really only have those two? Oh my goodness. And I only have the 3 fighter units. Oh, I do have one. I have a couple more ground units. Alright. Alright. So frankly, I probably need to build more because I think I've got like, so we've got 21 turns there. I think I've got like 20 core slots that aren't being used. I have some prestige. I think what I need to do here is I need to have some air defense units here, so we'll do a flak 88. Yeah, I've got like 20 core units. And we'll go with cheap Opal Blitz, so it's not quite as expensive a proposition here, to try and give some degree of air protection for these units so that when my fighters aren't around, we can do some meaningful damage. I was debating the SDKFZ. It's cheaper, but it doesn't really do much. Like, maybe it breaks up some air attacks. Not very effectively. So I think 2 of those, maybe 3 of those flak 88s or so. And then maybe we would do, like, maybe we can afford 1 fighter. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Yeah. Because there's just so many Soviet bombers here. The problem is when the weather gets bad, then you've got like a unit you can't really do anything with. But, oh well, it is what it is. Alright, so we've done that. Let's get our artillery into action here against these enemy artillery pieces. Really? These guys can't make it out that way? Alright, let's use our Stuka here. I don't think any enemy fighters are within range this turn. So we can use our air units kind of... Oh, there is a air defense unit there. Great. We can use our... I was going to say we can use our air power somewhat, you know, indiscriminately, but I just got my Stuka pretty badly shot up there. I was hoping to drive them back. Remember, I'm trying to go a little bit... You don't really see it so far, but I am trying to go a little bit more conservative in my approach. So enemy artillery here. Ow. I'm not going to attack there. I don't want to take unnecessary losses. Very good defense. That kind of hurt. Alright. A little worried about that Stuka getting blown out of the sky by that enemy flak. Okay. There's definitely enemy artillery back here. Alright. There we go. There's the enemy artillery. We'll swing our Panthers down a little bit, trying to avoid attacking into the teeth of enemy guns. Can these guys hit from here? No. Okay. Fucking rugged defense. Alright, there's for sure enemy artillery back here, right? No? Okay, kind of surprised about that. Okay with that result, but surprised. Okay, trying to keep troops off of trucks. There's the enemy. Oh my god, that tiger is going to die next turn. Well, I had hoped to avoid too much in the way of casualties unnecessarily being taken. Okay. These are artillery pieces down here. Nice. Did a little bit of damage to that enemy armor. Trying to attack in positions of strength. Avoid rugged defenses as much as possible. Alright, that's it for that. We're going to lose the one Tiger, which is going to be kind of an expensive loss, but we'll hold on to the prestige we have for reinforcements, which will certainly be necessary. I didn't really move my... I just bought the anti-aircraft turrets this turn, so hopefully not too much aggression. We're going to see a whole bunch of enemy air units moving forward here because they have a ton, but they shouldn't really have much yet in range of us. They've got to fly, in most cases, from airfields that are a ways back. So it may allow us to pick off a handful of enemy air units before they're really able to make their presence felt. You can see some strong counterattacks by these forward enemy units. Some of the attacks didn't go well. We saw a rugged defense on our own end, which feels pretty rare. And there goes the Tiger we said would get destroyed. I don't think they destroyed my Stuka, at least. You know, some of their units look almost like they're falling back. They've got 2 lines of trenches before Moscow. A lot of units moving into positions in those trenches. And there goes turn number 1. Alright, so they did not destroy our air unit. We'll use our artillery, hopefully, to try and finish that enemy... Okay, actually, they didn't even really do much damage at all. All right, so first things first, let's try and move our recon around to finish off that enemy artillery piece. They used their air against my fighters. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. But hopefully we can hit these guys here, move this Stuka back a little bit to hit the enemy infantry in the woods, move our own air defense forward a little bit to provide some cover for these tanks, which I will not aggressively move forward on the enemy. Oh, that was not actually my intent, but it worked out. The artillery finished that enemy air unit off, which somehow my air unit lost heavy casualties too. Those enemy anti-air must have been really powerful there. So we got the one enemy fighter, but hopefully they don't bring a whole bunch of other aviation against me. I need to reinforce some of those guys. That rugged defense was not desired, but we at least neutralized that enemy anti-air. Alright, so there's a T-34 here, which could cause us some headache. Got a bunch of armored units moving up. Air units moving up. I don't know how much damage they'll do to my uncovered tanks in the woods here. I do have an anti-aircraft unit there, which might help protect the Stuka, which might still die. I don't know. Alright, let's take that. Again, trying to be a little bit more conservative with our approach here, trying not to get our troops just obliterated through, you know, overly aggressive moves. Can this fighter move anywhere to get up to help anybody? Maybe it can help cover the Stuka a little bit from the south if they try and move up there. Okay. Alright. How far can these guys shoot? They can help take this town. Alright, so our self-propelled artillery here helped beat up the enemy infantry at Brzezinsk, and then our own troops are able to move in. Very nice. Should give us some badly needed prestige here. There we go. Move our flak forward here. Hopefully the enemy won't be in range to bomb that unit quite yet. Well, they've got aviation up there. We shouldn't do that. I said I was going to try and be cautious. I should probably listen to what I said I was going to do. Zero to 5, even with defensive artillery? Well, it didn't quite work out that way. Never tell me the odds. Alright, so let's keep pushing up in the south. I'm gonna do non-elite replacements for those non-core units. Nice. Okay. Alright. What are we looking at now? We did take a town, but we did some reinforcements too. For whatever, 79. Panther's 288. Tiger's more expensive than a Panther 3, and a Panther 3 is better. Well, not actually. So the Tiger has better soft attack, but the Panther has better hard. Tiger's better at close defense, but Panther has better movement. So we'll buy this unit here, and we'll end the turn. So we replaced our one tank loss thus far with a better tank, well, a different tank. I don't know that it's better. Let's see what the enemy does with their air this turn. They're going to go ahead and attack that armored unit with one of them. They bombed that other Tiger unit, but did no damage to them, thankfully. Some of their air are still moving forward and are not yet in range. Good news for us. A lot of these air units for them have some experience, too. They're overstrength. Enemy artillery hitting us a little bit. Recon car move forward after the attack. Rugged defense success there. Attack broken up there. We did lose a recon unit. Those are not like those are the units where the experience loss doesn't matter as much for the recon because frankly you're looking at probably not using them for combat so much. All right, what else are we looking at down here? So we do have one here. Let's unload this flak. A little bit of damage to that enemy bomber. We'll take this unexperienced Focke-Wulf and fly it south to go for a bomber, unescorted. Didn't quite destroy it, but did a good amount of damage. We'll take this understrength Focke-Wulf, hopefully, and move it down to finish off the enemy. And it did. So we got one enemy bomber unit destroyed there. Move the experienced Focke-Wulfs up here to take on this bomber unit. Destroy that one. So 2 enemy bombers destroyed. Stu could soften up this enemy tank. Tiger will finish it off. Alright, finish that infantry off. Pretty good result there. I don't know if that Panzer IV will survive, but we'll see. As we move on, Safronov. Again, we're trying to be more prudent in our approach. Nice. Armor destroyed that enemy artillery piece, which should, theoretically, open this anti-tank unit up to being more easily attacked. Trying to break through up there in the north. Nice. Taking out these enemy anti-aircraft pieces should be helpful. Wow, nearly destroyed that artillery piece too. Okay. Alright, we're making some progress in the south. Or, sorry, that was in the north. So, Krajov is the first objective here in the south that we're likely to get close to. Ow! At least they're non-core units, but we just ran into an enemy unit that badly mauled that Panther of ours. Can that Tiger get there? No. Tiger doesn't have the movement the other units do. Okay. Have any flak units in the south. I probably need to change that as I'm getting a lot of these guys on transports like that. Let's see if we can afford a flak unit. We can. We'll do another flak 88 again. The SDKFZ, oops, from my stream the other night did not have the punch to really do anything meaningful. Maybe, and I wasn't able to tell this, maybe it makes the attacks marginally less effective, potentially, because you're getting shot at, but oh man, that double clicked through. Alright, these guys should be able to attack and destroy this infantry and those fortifications. We'll continue moving in Khrushchev, and then we will presumably move north toward Kirov as well. Alright, the bombers are getting close. We did destroy 2 bombers this turn, though, so at least we took out some of the enemy air power immediately arrayed against us. I'm not optimistic that we win this thing, but again, we're trying to be smart about it. Alright, they attacked a Panther there with some fighters. I hope they didn't do too much damage. Maybe they were tactical bombers, I don't know. And some of our infantry there, too. Artillery just destroyed something. I think that was maybe the Panther IV that had been previously damaged. The Soviets just have so many units. This is just why, again, this battle feels like we've lost before we've started, but not to make you, feel like, hey, why am I watching a guy who doesn't think he can win? I'm just trying to approach this with a clear eye. Alright. Enemy fighter there. Let's get him. Alright, one by one, we're trying to pick off the enemy aviation that I can reach. What is that? A lag? Okay, 2 more enemy air units destroyed this turn. Rugged artillery defense doesn't really do them much good. Oh my god. Well, that Panther D, at least it was a replacement. Wow. And I'm not going to bother attacking there. I'm just going to try to reposition. Jesus. Said I wasn't going to do anything stupid, and I'm still getting punished. Moving toward Nidalovia, which might be able to support a flanking strike on Rzhev, but we'll see. Okay. So we might be able to we can use these swamps a little bit as some cover. Some of these guys need to move further north to provide some air defense for those guys up in that direction. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown that air defense unit on a truck. It does seem like the enemy is slightly less enthusiastic about attacking troops with air cover in this game. I wish I could move and then wait to attack. Game doesn't really allow you to do that effectively. Ow! Undetected enemy armor just crushed us a bit. Or maybe it was infantry. I'm not really sure. Hopefully those attacks there from me just bought myself some grace from an enemy counterattack. Well, they drove him back, even if they didn't destroy him. Okay. Alright, so we did lose another unit. What's our core status sitting at? 17? I need more men! Alright, the bombers, if they bomb... we lost the Panther that had been badly damaged there. So the enemy aviation is starting to come into full effect here. It hasn't had a disastrous impact yet, but... Oh well, we lost 2 non-core infantry units there, but... They are non-core units, so... their losses don't impact the next fight. Obviously, they impact our ability to do anything this fight, but... Okay. Man, that tiger is in rough shape. Didn't quite finish off that enemy unit there. Alright, so let's reinforce you, so hopefully you survive another turn. Okay. Alright, these guys, at least in the south, will be protected, I think, mostly from enemy artillery. Vizima is... a little nervous about enemy bombers here, but... we can try and push toward Vizima. So much enemy artillery. God damn it, we're going to lose another Corps Tiger. I'm just better off assuming I shouldn't attack ever. Of course, another rugged defense. Stukas are fun because it feels like you can never use them. Okay. There we go. Good job, infantry. Doing your job. I don't know why I did elite reinforcements for them. That was perhaps foolish. Okay. So we took Khrushchev. Threatening Kirov. Alright. So we lost, I think, that one core Panther unit and maybe one other unit? No, just the one core at least, and then the 2 non-core infantry or whatever they were. Okay, so we're, you know, a third of the way into this fight, and so far I would say our core force has not taken undue losses, but they are taking losses, and, you know, I guess we'll see how much more we can progress here, but we're at least gaining experience. Another non-core unit destroyed there. Non-core tank unit destroyed there. Alright. So, anti-aircraft, do your thing. Wow, that Flak 88 did good work. Or it was supposed to. Maybe do a little bit better work than it did. Alright, enemy fighter destroyed. Good job. Enemy artillery gone. Or enemy, not artillery, but anti-air. Anti-tank gone. All right. Just took that minor town. No objective, but you do still get like 50 prestige for taking unimportant towns. Alright, so we've got some core units we'll have to look after. Okay. Getting some kills in. Alright. The enemy seems to have more aviation in the south now, perhaps recognizing that they're better situated down there to put up a real fight. Oops. Alright, good. We were able to replace our losses there. Alright, should we do anything with these aviation units? I suppose we should try and get these bombers off us. I'd like to reinforce these air units before they get attritted down to nothing, but the swamp in front of Kirov is playing a little bit of havoc on us. Can you go finish off this bomber? Yes, you can. I believe in you. Alright, can I use this Stuka? Can I fly it forward under cover of those fighters I grouped up? Maybe. We'll take the risk. Alright, so 360 with 18. This very much just becomes a prestige management game when you're only modestly trying to push forward here, because pushing forward any more aggressively, frankly, than we have been doing, I think would be pretty damn reckless. They just moved forward and retook that airfield by that objective that we, I think, abandoned. The AI never misses a moment to break between your lines and cause havoc. Hey, a new air unit. So they retook the airfield here. Oh, no, they're not. It is not unguarded. It's an airfield. I don't think a BT-7's going to knock out a Flak 88, but it is annoying that they did that. Certainly hinders some of our logistics in terms of repairing some of these air units, which have been damaged a bit. You know what? It's free target practice for our Stuka, even though it's already a 5-star. Great, a rugged defense, just what I needed. Okay, so they got back-to-back artillery units here near Vizima. These air units... Oh, no, don't do that. You'll be too close to that enemy or anti-air. But maybe we can at least destroy another enemy air unit. The enemy spawns a lot of units in this game, but it's not usually like just artillery or just air. Oh god. Did they pull most of their... No, they still got some air units in the south. Okay. Okay. Huh. They left that airfield unguarded? I'll gladly go take that. Nice. Destroyed that enemy armor. We'll see if they try and thread the gap and go for that objective. Okay. You know, the one thing I will give the lighter infantry in this game is they do have the ability to cover more ground. And that is useful in a lot of these scenarios. That is fairly useful. Alright, let's try and take some of the pressure off our bombers and get some fighters further south. Hopefully they don't run out of fuel getting there. And that's it for this turn. And what I also will say is this episode's been going for about an hour. So we will see how things play out. I'm trying to be conscientious with the use of my forces. It's clear pushing helter-skelter on the objectives will do nothing except cause casualties that I can't replace. But we will see how this plays out in the future episodes. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.